there's this what I call the hot girl mentality, which a lot of these pretty young girls in the club have because they are of high social value. And this really comes from dating in and of itself, because I used to be a terrible simp. I would try to text these girls and hope that they reply, but they never seemed to do so. And I was trying to figure out why. And what I came to the conclusion was that I was being too needy, and these people realized that they have value, and this guy who's trying to text them and make them reply with like this bullshit, cheesy, dumbass messages while not being attractive wasn't the kind of person that they would like to interact with. And I realized quickly that this entire concept is transferable to other aspects of life. The very same people who are successful in their career, whether they are some CEO of some company or they're some kind of self-made millionaire, pretty much have the same hot girl mentality. These guys are not the ones who are replying to these stupid ass forwarded WhatsApp messages from people that they know. These guys are the guys out there doing something with their life, trying to make money, trying to hustle, whatever, trying to be successful, feed their family, make millions, make a reputation for themselves. And they're not wasting their time with all these dumbass social interactions. So one of the things that I've been doing hardcore in the last 6 to 12 months, I've been trying to do this in the last few years, but I really have started cracking down on spring cleaning a lot of social interactions in my life, because like I said, there's a lot of interactions, whether they're from family members or even longtime friends, which are just anywhere from like toxic to just time wasting. And that's not the kind of stuff that you want around, because they say that the person that you are is a combination of the top 5 people that you surround yourself with. I know this is what some self-motivational bullshit and stuff like that. I'm a pretty big skeptic of this stuff myself, but you can't help but hear all these expressions and start thinking like, maybe the douchebag who came up with this saying was on to something. Because you can't be a successful person if you're just surrounded by losers. I know a few people who are losers because they've chosen to surround themselves with other losers. And the moment they ditched those losers and became a more independent kind of person, and they started doing actually more productive stuff. Like there's this one guy that I know who used to be like a video gaming nerd. He was in a dead-end career, not earning that much at all. And he was just like playing video games in his spare time after work. The moment he ditched all of that, the moment he started doing things like becoming more aware of his personality, his personal appearance, his hobbies, right? He started switching from video games and spending hours into the night playing video games and started actually going outdoors to play sports and working on himself, physically at least, if not mentally as well. His life changed for the better by a lot. And the problem with a lot of people, again, is that they're unwilling to ditch all these social interactions, which really is something that I can't help you out with. You have to be that person to do it. But I'm going to tell you some of my experiences and how they've changed my life, and I hope you are able to digest that and think of it like, okay, someone's done it that way, and this person also knows a bunch of other people. Maybe I can start doing it myself. Now I'm going to start with the most really innocent example, and I'm going to ramp up to the most crazy extreme one that a lot of people like to give me shit for. The most innocent thing is all these like WhatsApp messages from like friends and family. I have a family member who always sends me good morning, literally every single morning till this very fucking day. And she's a nice lady, and I try to interact with her in a very pleasant way. I've tried replying to her good morning text, which is one of these like pictures that she gets from somewhere, saying good morning, with a good morning, and I ask her how her day is going, what she has planned. I know she's a very happening person with a lot on her schedule, and she's always in and out somewhere. I try to ask her how her day is going, how her week is going, and you know what I get back? Nothing, literally nothing, because she just ignores my replies most of the time. And then the next fucking morning, she sends another good morning message. Guess what I started to realize? I'm talking to a fucking wall. What do I not like doing? Talking to walls. So I stopped replying to her. And I stopped replying for months now, and she keeps sending these good morning messages to me anyway. I'm happy to meet up in real life. I'm happy to go visit her, which I've done. But if you're going to send me messages that you're not going to reply to after I reply to them, fuck that. I'm not ever going to reply to a single message of yours ever again in that context. The same thing goes with a lot of my friends. These guys have nothing better to do but surf Facebook. They're on these tabloids like Must Share News or Weird Kaya or Mothership, all these weird ass publications that are basically the Singapore, Malaysia equivalents of the Daily Mail and what is it, E Magazine or whatever in the US. Trashy tabloids is what they are. They have articles like these, a lady who was sitting in a car and she felt the ground under her starting to shift, and then she didn't know what to do, and then suddenly her car falls into a fucking sinkhole in the ground. What the fuck does that have to do with me? How does that affect me? How does that affect you? Nothing. It doesn't affect either of us. Why the fuck are you sharing this piece of nonsense, time-wasting garbage to me and everyone else on your contacts list? Like these same people who are complaining about how terrible their lives are. These are the same people that I've complained about in previous videos, right? They hate how their life is going. They hate their career. They don't have a family. Whatever. Their relationship is trash. But they're wasting all their time on social media, and not just wasting their own time, they're trying to waste other people's time as well by forwarding these pieces of garbage to other people, the entire contacts list that they have on their phone. In the initial days when I was really naive, I tried to be polite because that was what I was trained or brainwashed to do. I'm just too compassionate about other people's feelings. I care too much about how other people are feeling and what they could think and stuff like that. So I try to reply to them, and what do I get in return? In return for trying to look at the article, which they probably never read themselves, right? I probably read more of the article than they have, because they're just looking at this. They see the headline on Facebook, share, right? They don't even read the article. I've gone in there, I try to read the article, I try to reply to them in a conversational manner, because I'm assuming that's how they want to start a conversation, by sharing this piece of whatever from a tabloid. Guess what they do? Completely gloss over my reply. And then the next day, the next few hours, they send another fucking bullshit article. There's a crocodile spotted in this main river near the shopping mall that I grew up next to. Okay, how does that affect me? Do you ever go swimming in the river that's muddy as hell in Malaysia? No. Do I ever go swimming in that river? Nobody goes swimming in that giant ass river, which is basically a drain. So why the fuck are you sharing this piece of news to me and your entire contacts list? Beats me. I don't know what these people are thinking when they do that. No, this really sounds innocuous, because you're just saying, you're just complaining, man. Like, shut the hell up. Like, these people are just forwarding these messages. You can just ignore them. Well, I don't know if it's just me and my ADHD or whatever. I don't want to use these as crutches and excuses. But for me, at least, I feel this kind of small, tiny anxiety of like, I haven't replied to this person's message. I haven't seen their message, whatever. What could they think of me and stuff like that. It's a result of how I was brought up, being bullied a lot. I'm really kind of self-conscious in a way. So over time, these tiny worries kind of add up, and that's when it starts eating into my brain cells. The same brain cells that I need, that I would be much better off using on stuff like making money on my trading activities. So I decided just to stop worrying, just to stop bothering to even reply or even open some of these messages, right? That's literally what these hot girls do. They see a message from a low-value simp, right? Saying, oh, how are you? And they roll their fucking eyes, and they realize that this is a low-value simp who is going to deliver not just zero value to them, but that person is delivering negative value to themselves by wasting not just their own time, but other people's time as well. So those girls, what they do is that they see the notification come in on their lock screen, and they see the preview, and they see, there's a low-value simp over here who got my number, who is asking me, how's my day? Or like just saying hi, which, by the way, a lot of people at work like to do as well, amazingly enough. There's been countless times over Slack or Microsoft Teams or whatever at the places that I've worked at when I was in white collar as an employee, where people would literally just send hi, and they expect you to open the message and reply to them before they tell you what they want. So these girls are looking at these simps, and they're like, okay, I'm not even gonna leave them on read. I'm not even going to open the message. Now, I've talked for about 12 minutes. I want to wrap this up with a crazy example. I stopped talking to my mom permanently I decided to stop talking to her back in 2020 because I realized she was a narcissist, that she's just wasting a lot of my time, and not just time, but energy as well. She's negatively impacting my energy. And at the time, in 2020, I had to make a bunch of investment decisions, and I had to have a clear mind in order to be able to make good decisions. And what I realized from just interacting with her and her expectations to keep talking with me, and we talk about the same fucking topic, and 2 hours isn't enough. Like 2 hours, she's, oh, the call is ending so soon, and then, like, it's a fucking circle jerk. The next day, we'll be on another 2-hour phone call, and she's complaining about the same shit. We're talking about the same thing. It's Groundhog Day every single day, and it has been since I went, abroad and moved out of the house. So I decided there and then that I will just stop talking to her because she's extremely toxic. She's a narcissist. Then after 3 years of no contact, I tried to get in touch with her again a couple of years later, and then I realized that she's the same fucking narcissist that I spent my 20 years growing up in my life with. And I decided there and then I'm just going to permanently stop talking to her. And a lot of people give me shit, right? Including this very family member who sends the good morning text, right? She fully knows the entire situation, how terrible my mom is, how terrible the relationship between me and her is. And she knows that my mom's just a terrible person. But she just keeps insisting every single time that, you just need to talk to her and ask her some like innocent questions like this. How are you, to show that you care because she's your mom. Oh, her birthday was last week. Did you wish her happy birthday? Bitch, I already told you that I'm no contact with my narcissist mom. I don't want to have anything to do with her. Period. These people do not respect your decisions as a grown-ass adult. And they're not just wasting your time. They're delivering negative value. Right? Again, it's all about cutting out people who bring negative value to your life, who are impacting you in ways that you could be better off without. I'm not telling you that you have to talk with someone always with an intention in your mind, and you only keep people around you if you can find a use for them. And that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm happy to make small talk with the strangers on the street. I frequently do. I'm happy to talk with the person who's sitting next to me while I'm waiting for my car to be washed. That doesn't really bring any value to my life. But you know what it doesn't do? It doesn't bring negative value to my life. Unlike my toxic narcissist mom, I like these friends who are spamming me with this useless brain rot that they see on social media, right? So they're not just wasting their own time, they're trying to waste mine as well, and the entire context list, like I said many times in this video. And the people who are continually telling me all these pieces of advice, like the same family member of mine asked me recently how I was doing, and I told her that one quick line update about how my trading was going, and she's like, oh, so your trading is not that consistent. Yeah, better to apply for more jobs. Just apply for more jobs, fully knowing that I've applied for 500 fucking jobs and not gotten a single fucking offer. Yet she's still harping on the fact that you need to do this one thing because that's what the rest of society does. These are the kinds of people who are a sink for your mental energy that you just need to stop talking to. Or if you can't stop talking to them, at least just minimize the contact that you have with them, because you'll be much better off without them. I guarantee it. That's it for today, and I hope you learned something. See you all in the next video. Goodbye.